Hello, everybody. Good day, good evening, good morning, whatever time of the day it is for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our first annual Teachers Appreciation Award ceremony here on According to MzShellz. My name is MzShellz, and it is my privilege, it is my honor to celebrate and recognize all these lovely teachers that I'm going to be displaying momentarily for you all. How are you doing today? Sit back, relax as we journey through these awesome women, and as they do, as we share on their life as teachers, as we share on, I'm so sorry about that, as we share on their lives as teachers and their accomplishments and all that they do to make themselves great and awesome. It is a pleasure of mine. Let us put our hands together, not only for these teachers, but for all teachers that are in the system or retired. Let's go. Now, our first teacher is Miss Doula Hepburn. She is presently retired for 5 years, but she served for 40 years as a teacher of English language, English literature, and reading. Her favorite quote is "one starfish at a time." And I can honestly say that this lady was a teacher per excellence. I am telling you, it was a pleasure of mine to work with her many years ago, and I truly find it a pleasure to honor her first today. And this, my Teachers Appreciation Award ceremony. 40 years of teaching, she's also seen as the humanitarian in our profession. She always tried to make room for the children that are in need, work around the different systems that's available to get to the fact that the kids who were in the need the most were able to get the most out of whatever systems and whatever fundings or whatever food or whatever it is that they needed, that it was accessible to these students. And I'm sure every student can attest that whose lives she has touched, how remarkable it was to have her as a teacher, and many times, a lot of them, a true friend. Next, we have Carolyn Edwards Wright, 27 years of teaching. She is a specialist in information technology, electronic document preparation, and management. Her favorite quote is "every student can learn, not just on the same, just every student can learn, sorry, just not on the same day or in the same way," by George Evans, a phenomenal teacher in her own right, and she has served extensively for these 27 years and has made an indelible mark on all her students' life. Next, we have Jacqueline Samuel, 25 years of service, a specialist in business information technology and economics. She has her personal philosophy as "every child can learn, just not at the same pace." And this is so phenomenal because she's an awesome woman. She's patient, and even the way she talks to people, as a fellow colleague myself, I can feel the love, and I can just imagine how her students respond and react to her in her class settings. One of her most memorable moments, as she was telling me earlier in the interview, is that she got a phone call while teaching. She was teaching in Jamaica at the time. And so the student had migrated and wanted to place the call back to her to say thanks for believing in him or her, and also for all that he had done, all that she had done in impacting his or her life, and the accomplishment that this person was achieving know that they were living overseas. And so that was one of her most memorable moments, and she treasured it even to this day. Moving on, next teacher, Novita Johnson, 25 years of service, specializing in family and consumer science and commercial food preparation. Her philosophy is the success of my students keeps me going. The reward for good work is more work. So it keeps her going. Um, a true craftsman of her trade, always pursuing additional certifications to improve on her delivery and to also encourage and motivate her students to excel. And this woman continues to do well in her area of training, as I said before, and continue to make an indelible mark in her students' lives. Kudos all our teachers. I'm just going to take this moment to just big up all the teachers out there, whether or not your name is on this list. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Next teacher we have is Keisha Reed, 25 years of service, specialization in English language, English literature, and housekeeping. Her philosophy is what keeps me in the teaching field is pretty much purpose. When I see a child gets the principle and use it to transform their life for the better, that's priceless. It is also noted too, I may also add, as a part of her years of service, she did a lot of tutoring and one-on-one interaction with students. We thank you, Keisha, for your years of service, and I'm sure every child you touched is the better for it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Moving on, next teacher, we have Dr. Marsha Grandison Taylor, 22 years of service. She is a middle school assistant principal, a literacy coach, a national board certified teacher for early middle grades literacy, a master teacher, and other specializations of science, social studies, global history, and English language. She points her philosophy to something that was said to her by one of her professors in Teachers College, which has kept her over the years and allowed her to continue to do such an awesome job. And I quote, the teacher said to her, bloom wherever you are planted, which she applies to every aspect of her life. And so she says if she's awarded a position to clean the bathroom, she makes sure she does a phenomenal job. If she's in the classroom, she makes sure she does an excellent job to carry out her duty to the best of her ability. And so over the years, Marsha has proven herself to be a teacher par excellence and has also spearheaded many programs around literacy. And as even though as she's a middle school assistant principal, she also continues doing work in that literacy field, literacy field. Awesome. Oops. I'm sorry. I think I pressed that too hard. I'm sorry. Okay, next teacher, Megan Wright. 22 years of service, specialization in family and consumer sciences and behavior sciences. Her personal philosophy, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Megan's service has been extensive, not only into the classroom, but as you notice, one of her her specialization is in behavioral sciences. She's been spearheading mentorship programs with the students, developing a true blue program for students under her care from all levels and all ages, and have continued to do remarkably well as not only a classroom teacher, but a head of department, head of section, and even working extensively at the university level. And we just want to say kudos, Megan Wright, to you and all teachers, even as we specialize, as we focus on you, I just still want to continue to big up all the teachers, all teachers. Okay, next teacher is Natasha Greensword, 22 years of service, specialization in educational leadership and administration, and the first of two early childhood educators. And I just want to big up all the early childhood educators, all early childhood educators. You also all help to set the foundation for all the students that come along in the system that we as educators have to reach out and touch. And she says that if my students, one of her guiding philosophy is, if my students don't learn the way I teach, then I will teach the way they learn. No one size fits all. And truly, she continues to make a great impression on all her students, and she caters to their different needs and get one-on-one interaction even in a classroom of whatever the number, the size is. Kudos to you, Natasha Greensword. Next, we have Sonia Greensword, 19 years of service, specialization in English language and primary education. Now, Sonia is another friend of mine. I've not worked with her closely, but I've known her over the years, and I can tell you she's truly an inspiration to me. To me, I consider her a true ambassador for our profession. She has used her summers to travel to Africa and to work with the students in Jamaica virtually, especially last year with the pandemic and everything, in preparation for CSEC. She has used her off times, quote unquote, to reach out to students who are in need at an educational standpoint and to bridge whatever gaps they have. Right? She worked extensively with the girls in Tanzania, and I remember when she went and just seeing the pictures of everything, and truly she continued to inspire me. She works extensively not only with her own personal students, but she continues to have various outreach programs for different students at different levels. We just want to say kudos to Sonia, another recipient of Teachers Appreciation on MzShellz. Okay, our second early childhood educator is Orlando Scarlett, 18 years of service. And we continue to thank all educators, right? And so as we're focusing on Orlando right now, her memorable moments are the times that she would get feedback from the students that she taught at 3 years old, and how well they're doing at the tertiary level, topping their classes or whatever section of the tertiary level they're in, doing remarkably well. And that's what keeps her going at the early childhood stage that she's at. Kudos. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Next, we have Debbie Gardner, 19 years of service, specialization in English language and English literature. Her favorite quote, to the stars through difficulties. I had a great pleasure to work with Debbie, and honestly, for me, I found her to be a remarkable teacher. Whenever I had any situation that I wanted to get feedback on, she was able to be a great listener, and I know that carried through to her classes, and her students are made the better for her style of teaching, her personality, her warmth, and her beautiful smile. Next, we have Mrslia Scott, 15 years of service, specialization in family and consumer sciences and commercial food preparation. Her favorite quote is, "He that begun a good work in you will carry it through to completion." This woman right here, again, I also had the privilege of team teaching with her many times, working along with her, an awesome woman. Had the privilege of just watching her growing over the years, and the impact that she has had on her many students when she does her little praise reports and stuff like that. It's just, I feel it's not my personal student, but I really feel excited for her and with her for all the different works that she's been doing over the years. And it was just a pleasure working with her, and still to this day, she continued to do excellent job. Kudos, Miss Scott. Next teacher, Keisha Thorpe Coote. 15 years of service. Specialization in food and nutrition and fashion design and merchandising. Her thoughts are her thoughts as relates to being in the profession and what keeps her motivated. It's the moments when the students get the concept. All those moments are what she lives for. And she also has continued to make a great mark on the students' lives, and even extending the program at her school as relates to fashion and design and clothing and textiles, and also is a phenomenal teacher, a teacher with a listening heart, and the wisdom that she shares is priceless. Kudos to you, Miss Keisha Thorpe, Mrs. Keisha Thorpe. Next, we have Annette Reed Walters, 15 years of service, specialization in family and consumer sciences. Her personal mantra: excellent is not always the best, but always do your best. Her philosophy: as an educator, I strongly believe that every child can learn if provided with the necessary resources. I found that this awesome teacher over the years has begun to trailblaze and make history, and done wonderful things as an educator in the different schools that she has been able to touch the lives of people there. And I always join in her different celebration and her accomplishments. I find it a great pleasure to honor her today, sorry, on this listing of group of teachers. I consider her history maker, trailblazer, opening doors to other teachers to follow behind, and continuing awesomely to do a great job where she's positioned right now. Kudos to you, Antoinette Reed Walters. Next teacher, Kamisha Hart. 9 years of service, specialization in housekeeping, and the training of young adults through the Hart training programs at different locations, also holding leadership positions as she had to spearhead the starting of many institutions in various communities. Her favorite quote is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." A woman of passion, a woman of grace with the tenacity to do the job at hand far beyond even the call of duty. And she continues to blaze a trail of excellence. I, I find it a pleasure to have met her, not necessarily working in the same building, but I have met her and I've studied her work over the years. And truly, it is a pleasure to be able to salute you today, Miss Kamisha Hart, on this day of appreciating teachers. So I'm at the end of my list, and it was a pleasure to be able to honor all these teachers and to be able to share a little bit on their life. We thank you for your service. We thank you for serving. And again, not only just these 17 teachers, but every teacher that's listening to this lovely presentation today. And anyone that knows a teacher, we just want to say, spread the word. Tell him I said thank you. Here at MzShellz, I said thank you. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this, my first award ceremony for teachers. I truly appreciate the role that you guys have played individually or even as a group. And looking forward to seeing all that you continue to do in the profession. Grace to you and strength. And may God continue to grant you the wisdom and the creativity you need in these changing times as we teach our students. I am grateful and honored to have been able to participate in this lovely program today. And I hope all of you enjoy the evening with me. This is According to MzShellz. We do celebrate all of life moments and honor people's accomplishment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll be able to get all my videos for the different times I celebrate all of life moments. It is a pleasure to be here, and it was a pleasure to have you. God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you for coming by.